Welcome to day 58 of our school year. All right, our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days, and we are on day 58. Let's find our factors of our numerator. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself, using the commutative property of multiplication. I can write it as 58 times 1. Now we're going to go through our divisibility rules in order so that we don't miss any possible factors. So after 1, we're going to try 2. So the rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. It does. So 2 is a factor. 2 times 29. 29 times 2. We try 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 4. One thing to check with 4 is if the second factor with 2 is even. It is not, so 4 is not a factor. 56 and 60 are both multiples, but 58 is not. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0, 5. It ends in an 8, so 5 is not a factor. We try 6. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. 2 is, 3 is not, so 6 is not a factor. We try 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63. 58 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. We try 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64. 58 is not in that list, so 64 is not. I'm sorry, so 8 is not a factor. We try 9. The rule for 9 is the same as the rule for 3. We add the digits together. We get 13. 13 is not a multiple of 9, so 9 is not a factor. We try 10. 10 says it ends in a 0. This ends in an 8, so 10 is not a factor. We try 11. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66. 58 is not in that list, so 11 is not a factor. I'm going to check to see if this second factor here may be prime. Yes, 29 is prime. So that means we have found all our factors because 29 will not break down anymore. So let's list our factors from least to greatest. 1, 2, 29, 58. We have 4 factors. That is more than 2 factors, so it is composite. Now we need to find our greatest common factor. So let's start with 58, since that's our greatest one. See if that works. Remember, your groups do not have to look like mine, but you do need to keep the shaded separated from the unshaded, and you do have to have 58 in each. So I have 2 plus 50 is 52, plus 6 is 58. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, I have 6 left over, so that means that 58 does not work. Okay, let's try 29. Again, got to keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. And make sure 29 is in each group. 2 plus 20 is 22, plus 7 is 29. 3 plus 20 is 23, plus 6 is 29. 4 plus 20 plus 5 is 29. 5 plus 20 plus 4 is 29. Then there are 6 left over. So 29 did not work. Okay, so let's go ahead and do groups of 2. See if 2 works. All right, 2 worked. Yay. So that means 2 is our greatest common factor. Let's count up our total amount of groups. Each of my rows has 5 groups of 2, so I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90 total groups. And I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 shaded in. Now that we've done our division with our model, let's go ahead and use our algorithm, dividing everything into groups of 2. So 180 divided by 2 and 58 divided by 2. Well, I know 2 times 50 will give me 100. Numbers the same, zeros the game, more on top, no need to stop. Let's see, 20 times 2, placeholder moves it over place, 2 times 2 is 4. Numbers the same, zeros the game, more on top, no need to stop. 20 times 2 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Add my partial quotients together. 0 plus 0 plus 0. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then over here, 10, well, actually I could do 20 times 2 is 40. Or on top, no need to stop. Or on top, no need to stop. And 9 times 2 is 18. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Add our partial quotients. 20 plus 9 is 29. Now let's go ahead and check our answer. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for both, we don't need to add them, because the identity property of addition says when you add 0, it stays the same. 2 groups of 0 is 0. 2 groups of 9 tenths is 18 tenths. 2 groups of 9 is 18. 2 groups of 2 tenths is 4 tenths, plus 1 more is 5 tenths. 58, that matches our dividend up here. Check. 180, that matches our dividend up here. Check. So that means our numerator is definitely 29, and our denominator is definitely 90. All right. Let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Trimester 1, week 13. Today is 10/30/19. And our fraction for today is 29/90. Okay, so we did groups of 2. And we have quite a few to fill in because our last one was 23/90. 24/90 has a few equivalent fractions. 16/60, 12/45, and 4/15 is the simplest form. 25/90 has an equivalent fraction of 10/36, and 5/18 is the simplest form. We have 26/90 has an equivalent fraction of 13/45. That's the simplest form. 27/90 has an equivalent fraction of 18/60, and 3/10 is the simplest form. Okay, 28/90 has an equivalent fraction of 14/45 is our equivalent fraction in lowest terms, and then today is 29/90. There are no lines below it because this is our simplest form, or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. Okay, go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.